Hello and welcome to Lesson 5, Bias, talking about subconscious impulses. Our big question here, where can we identify bias? Where can we find it? There it is, bias France. Now, of course, that's not what we're talking about here. Bias is prejudice in favor of or against one thing, person, or group compared with another, usually in a way that is considered to be unfair. Bias shows up in the conversations we have with our friends and family, in the news, on TV, in social media, and especially in elections, and even text messages that we send each other. Ask yourself, where else might you find bias? Where does bias come from, or how does one develop a bias towards something? Your environment plays a factor. What values were you raised with? Who did you know when you were little? Your parents' beliefs. What are the ideas that they are instilling in you? The culture from where you live. Are there traditions that cause you to think and feel a certain way about things? Your race. Some people just don't get along. So consider race. Different races have different ways of looking at things, and it definitely is a source of bias. Your heritage. Are you Italian, Native American? All of these different heritage lines of lineage, that they're going to cause you to think and feel differently about things also. Very particular opinions. Your family. Within your immediate family unit, do you have certain ways of doing things? Peer pressure. Are your friends influencing the way you think or feel about things? And finally, mass media. As I mentioned earlier, things like the news, TV, social media sites, they're all pumping you full of ideas and swaying the way you feel and think about things. Quick check. The things we as individuals say is a form of bias. Absolutely yes. Things we say is a form of bias. Bias in action. We treat people differently based on their age, belief system, disability, ethnicity, their gender or gender identity, marital status, national origin, political beliefs, and their race. Unfortunately, these are all things that we're rather judgmental about. We think about people differently based on these things. Even their religion, sexual orientation, and social standing will cause us to think differently about them. How does bias cause us to act? It causes us to avoid certain people, to stereotype people in good and bad ways, telling jokes based on those stereotypes that sometimes can be hurtful. We call people names. We post negative comments on social media. We might insult them based on those stereotypes. We might vandalize others' religious decorations. Maybe we're imitating someone with a disability, or calling women names such as chicks or broads. We might take it so far as to join exclusive clubs where certain people are not allowed. It might cause us to tell someone that women wear dresses, men wear pants. These are all stereotypes, and they're not a good thing. Maybe not serving someone in a restaurant or retail store simply because of their race. Or not hiring someone because of their age or gender. In summary, bias often causes us to unconsciously act a different way or say something that we otherwise wouldn't.